Good idea.
Yeah, because we know this is gonna take a little while because this tier is loaded.
Tier 4 is the most diverse tier line.
Yeah, that's why I decided to get this done early on, is because I'd kind of looked at how many that we're gonna have to do, and it's a fairly good number. So yeah, and by the way, I'm going full Athaxium today. I even got the whole armor on, so yeah.
Yeah, just to list them all, there's the Blaze, the Enderman, the Cave Spider, Zombie Pigman, Guardian, Ghast, Husk, Stray, Shulker, Witch, Wither Skeleton, Vindicator, and Killer Rabbit.
Hmm. Odd. But in this listing, the Vindicator came before the Wither Skeleton. But that's okay. I was just looking through them that way. But yeah, anyhow, it's me, Glitch Reaper, here with Enderman of Doom. We're doing another spotlight on Engender. This time we're going over Tier 4, which, as he just previously said, apparently has the most in it out of the base set of Engender mobs, and we'll get to why I say base set later. But for now, we're going into Tier 4 territory here. And how long would it take to cook the range of these, basically?
Most of them take most of them. This is starting to go into minutes territory.
Ah,
The fastest ones take 40 seconds.
okay.
The longest ones take 4 minutes and 16 seconds.
Okay, now that's per operation. Like, you'd still need to have like one smelting operation for that long, or would you just need to pour in a whole lot more coal?
That's for each one. That's for each one, and there's no way of speeding it up, except maybe like um, getting extra mob spawners and multi fusing.
Well, that's one way to do it. But I was just thinking, like, if I had one coal and I was cooking up like 8 fusion parts for, oh, say,
If you think that's long, but if you think that's long, wait till we get to the tier fives. Those guys take
mm,
some of them take almost an hour.
yeah, I think I'm gonna horribly break that at some point because I know a few ways of doing tile acceleration. Well, admittedly, it wouldn't really be breaking it; just be making it a whole lot less tedious. But anyhow,
With at least a few of them you would want to do that. Like the Wither Storm takes 2 hours.
yeah, I could wait for a few minutes or just let something happen in the background, but hours? That's hard to really plan a session around. I mean, I'd have to be doing all sorts of stuff in
Well,
between
it's
for
a
that
tier
to be
6. What
valid.
do you expect?
Yeah, but so I definitely have to use tile acceleration. Admittedly, that's somewhat common, somewhat rare. Not all mods have a way of even doing that, so something that doesn't always come up. But it just speeds up the
Well, if you
process. So it
well if
uses
you
the
can
same amount
find
of
a mod
fuel.
that does that, you'll want it.
Yeah, yeah,
If you
you'll
want
be
to
wanting
wait,
it.
there's a surprisingly large amount of waiting in the Engender mod. Not very much actual fighting if you're playing the actual game in as intended in survival.
Well, admittedly, the enemy might come to you, so while you're busy trying to cook one of them up, somebody might try to invade your base, and then the runs you
They
already
may
have will be
steal it.
defending you.
They may steal it.
True. That'd be a
That's
bad
the
thing.
real danger.
Remember, this mod was also originally intended for multiplayer and like multiple players having armies, so that could happen. That would be a valid thing of why you'd need an army just to defend your spawner. Is your enemy camp might be coming at you, and so yeah, they might try to steal your wonderful Uber tier, which we'll go over several of those later, and they all really deserve the title of Uber tier. Well, he doesn't call it that; it's like tier 6, but still. You still there? You kind of conked out there.
Yes.
Okay, that sounded weird. Anyhow, that was Skype problem, not anything technical for us apparently. But yeah, tile acceleration will need to be a thing. But what I was trying to ask is if I somehow put in like 8 wither skeletons into the spawner and I had one piece of coal, would it do all 8 just really really slowly?
That will take quite a bit.
Yeah, but like would just be one piece of coal for all 8 of them, or and it just
It's
take a while.
one piece of coal for each mob.
Okay. So you put in one piece of coal, it does one operation, and it takes
All
that
right.
amount of time regardless. Anyhow,
Let's get onto the mobs. Let's
as
get
goes
onto the
anyhow.
mobs.
Yeah, we're about to do some of these, and the first one up is the Blaze, which is going to make this
Has
world
the
a little
standard
toasty.
has the standard statistics of a regular blaze. It has 20 health and does 6 damage. Does 6 damage. The fireballs, by the way, technically count as melee attacks.
Which is interesting. He uses extended melee a lot. But yeah, the fusion part requires a blaze rod and an egg, so you'll probably be fighting blazes before you have your own. And
You
as
will most definitely be fighting blazes before you have your own. This is intended that you head to the Nether for these guys. Some of the Nether
true.
mobs you don't. Some of the Nether mobs you don't even need to head to the Nether to get their items. Other ones you do.
You know, not too many mods have straight up blaze rods as treasure, so this would be one of those things where it really depend on what the other mod was. Like Twilight Forest is like that.
So
You can get blaze rods.
this time
as
I'm
treasure.
gonna do. This time I'm gonna do different and read the descriptions I put into my forum. So for the blaze, it takes 1.6 minutes to fuse, and it's also fast on the ground, but only average speed in the air. Blazes may fly, but they're not exactly fast flyers. They also have no armor, and they are powerful fire shooters that can fly, and they can also be mounted. Press
That's
spacebar
what
to
I was
gain height.
wondering. Can I
Press
mount you?
spacebar to gain height.
Note, he's working on his own. He's doing work while I'm hovering on him. Oh, actually hit the blaze. That pig had some serious bravery there. You know, I'm kind of surprised that he actually killed with the melee attack rather than with the fire because I got raw pork chops. It happens. Oh, here's an interesting thing. Fire up. Never mind. That went by quickly. You'll see what I was originally intending to say later.
When you're riding on a blaze, you can strafe, and the blaze will automatically shoot charges forward in the direction you look at.
That comes in handy. So you just go a little side to side, and it'll keep shooting.
You can. Although this blaze will also shoot. This allows you to try a bit of blaze shooting yourself.
Yeah.
It's like.
Oh, come on. Good. Oh, I almost
And,
forgot how to fly one of
the
these.
blaze-
It's
the
the
blaze
direction
ha-
you're looking, by the way.
The blaze
get
has
straight.
the blaze does have a hero special attack when you make it a hero. It is called Inferno. It is called Inferno. Causes a massive particle explosion, burning and scorching all nearby enemies and lighting them on fire for a minute.
Okay, so it's mainly to steer, look in the direction, and just hold forward. So yeah, that's the flight type we got going here. So
Press spacebar to gain height.
Yeah, that helps too. Bust.
You can hold the spacebar to gain. You can hold the spacebar to gain height to gain more height to gain more height more quickly.
He's not really feeling up right now. He was before, but otherwise, I don't know why. He's just not feeling it now. He was a moment ago. I know, but he's not doing it right now. Oh well. So I have a hero star just in case I need to do this. So 1 star of valor later. So we might wind up seeing the big blazing attack of Inferno.
No, you'll only see it if you have particles on.
Oh yeah, that did it. Like the moment I heroed him, he did it instantly. He's like, whoosh, boom, goodbye. As the whole thing just got toasty.
You also get a special death message for when a mob dies from it.
By the way, interesting feature we hadn't mentioned before, but probably should have. Whenever any of your Engender mobs have arrows in them, they will try to eject them, and you can pluck them off yourself. This is a feature that was kind of newly added. And heroes will do it faster. They will remove the arrows from themselves quicker. So interesting little thing about the Engender mobs now.
So long as they have arrows in them, they take repeated cactus damage.
Yeah, well, think about it. They're basically getting pricked, so they're getting pricked to death. There's something very pointy sticking in them.
The death message, if they somehow manage to die from that, is that they were pricked to death. Although there is, of course, a strange one where if they're fighting something and then they die from the pricking, it'll say that they walked into a cactus. They walked into a cactus. while fighting the mob.
That's how it actually works in vanilla. Is even though the message rarely says so directly from a cactus, technically it's the reason for pricking damage being seen in mods. But in the case of a
The way that it works is that the pricking is that the mob is that they have to get hit by the mob first, and then they have to get killed by the cactus.
yeah, and in that case, if any creature pushes something into a cactus or is fighting them within a few seconds, darn lips, or fighting them within a few seconds of them dying from cactus, that's when it says walked into a patch of cactus. So, in case you're wondering how that death message shows up, that's why. And I think with that, we should move on to the next one, because this guy has no arrows, and he has nothing else he's currently attacking.
Next one is the cave spider.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay. I was going to go Enderman with that, but we can go cave spider.
Enderman, we're doing the less complex ones first.
Okay, that's a good way of doing it, too. Fermented spider's eye, an egg, and string is your fusion part, so you'll be cooking that up.
Cave spiders are far deadlier than regular spiders, even though they're smaller and far weaker. They have a poison attack.
Of course, they're a cave spider. They're very toxic, and as more than a few players know, that is very annoying. So
they can be mounted. They can be mounted, despite their tiny size.
And
hold spacebar to do a forward jump. Stronger if released when bar is full. They climb walls. They have a poison attack, and they can swarm.
These guys are also super fast.
They're even faster than regular spiders because they're smaller.
Yeah, this thing's like super quick.
Apparently, your big frame isn't enough to slow them down.
Yeah, this is like super quick. That's like even like casual speed too. I remember they usually don't have like a dash per se. They just kind of go.
Other than that, there's nothing else too special about them, other than being smaller and being cave spiders. Their hero attack is exactly the same as a spider jump, which means that they jump through the air to cover all the distance between them and an enemy.
Almost worked if it weren't for that teleporting Enderman being on fire. It happened.
Next up is the zombie pigman.
Oh, the cave spider is a goner. Oh, that was sad. Okay, but as you were going to say, zombie pigman, and in this case, the part will include a gold nugget, rotten flesh, and an egg. Which you could kind of expect from a zombie pigman.
This is another mob that you do not need to go to the Nether to get the items. All these things exist in the overworld.
Also, they will try to spawn in with a. Did I get two? I must have accidentally double tapped. I don't think you normally get two. Anyhow.
You get two.
Oh, you do get two? Okay, for a while I thought I double tapped. Whew. That wasn't. Hey! I think I got an Easter egg version.
You get the old Pocket Edition pigman?
Yeah, I did. I got one normal and one Pocket Edition. Ain't that something?
The Pocket Edition ones are the ones that have their arms down at all times and also are missing the hat layer.
Yeah.
So their head has nothing.
One of them I got. And the other one is the normal zombie pigman.
So just in case everyone wants to know, just like spiders having the ability to spawn with their Easter egg survival test skin, zombie pigmen have the ability to on occasion spawn looking like the old Pocket Edition pigmen. If any of you are old enough to remember when Pocket Edition first added zombie pigmen with the Nether reactor, they look like this.
Yeah, this is, I really wish it actually had, like, full-on biome and dimensional reactors all over the place, like, all sorts of different versions, but that's just me. I mean, that was a cool concept. Don't worry about going to the Nether, just bring it to you. Now, another thing to note is I just happened to hero the zombie pigman that has the old pocket version. So, yeah, I just tried heroing one, not knowing which one I'd get, and I got him. So that was convenient. Special note, they'll try manifesting with a hat, even though they don't really need it. So every time you try giving them a hat, they'll just go, nope, not the leather hat.
They don't need it.
So yeah, they don't really care.
They don't need helmets. They don't take damage. They don't take damage in sunlight.
Yeah, but if you give them a better helmet, they might still take it as armor. They just seem to
take it as armor. They'll take it as armor. It's just that leather helmets are expendable equipment that they can wear.
Otherwise, they're mainly
for
just a
to
really
protect from
powerful
sunlight.
fighter. And this Blaze just really loves using his Inferno attack.
Zombie pigmen still have their immense attack power, which is what makes them so valuable as foot soldiers. They just do so much damage. It's like
And
if you
for
get
that
attacked,
matter, they usually are found dual-wielding golden swords in Engender, so yeah, that's gonna hurt.
their hero version special attack is called Tender Stab. They essentially stab at the most vital part of their enemy, dealing massive damage to that one enemy.
Wouldn't that be more critical stab? A
Tender
critical
Stab.
hit?
Basically, it's a critical hit, but it's a super critical hit because most enemies die.
Yeah, it just deals a lot of damage in one big strike, so their special hero ability is a random chance to just hit like a truck. Of course, they already hit like a truck, so I guess it'd be more of a semi.
Because they I don't know, maybe stab their enemy's liver or cut into their lungs, or maybe they hit their the enemy's family jewels.
It just depends on the enemy. Now, slimes don't have an exact area. I guess they just wiggle their sword around really, really fast to jiggle them apart or something. Because we know that slimes and elementals don't technically have weak points.
Zombie pigmen can be equipped with armor and weapons just like zombies.
Oh, that reminds me. I might want to give him a duplicate set of mine.
A thing to
this
note
one is
about
going to have
something to note about zombies and zombie pigmen, skeletons, wither skeletons, strays, and husk is that if you give them a shield in the offhand, they will actually use it to block.
I'm going to supercharge my hero with a little extra armor. Hey, you can use a little special set.
Now, the pigmen are fast, but if you raise their morality, they become the Flash. So give them a few slots, and so give them some slots. Punch your pigman a few times.
How did you not... Just a moment. He seemed to reject some armor suddenly. I'm not sure if I double tapped or what.
Punch your pigman a few times.
There we go. Hi.
Punch your pigman a few times.
Oh, he zoomed in to attack something. Like, really zoomed. Okay, he's boosted. He's like, yay, I feel better now. And the cheer goes throughout the lands.
Both the regular cheer and the pigman cheer. The special... They turn into the
he's
Flash.
Like zooming around in front of my face while I'm trying to throw away this armor.
They go really, really, really fast when their morality is raised.
I was also going to give him a duplicate Athaxium Cleaver. Maybe a couple of them. Because I want him to just be decked out. Yeah. This guy's tough now. He was like the ultimate warrior zombie pigman. You can't even see anything on him, but you know he's just like the toughest one. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm just decked out, man. Try taking me on. So yeah. Okay, I'll keep those over there.
Oh Jesus Christ! This one slime just killed 2 pigmen.
Okay. Anyhow, who's next up? Because if you're going with simpler, I think probably Husk or Stray. Well, there's something special about Strays, so that's a different story.
Yeah. Next one, let's actually do them next, because they're simpler. They're just variants.
Yeah.
They've always been variants. So let's start with the Husk.
The Husk is egg, bone, rotten flesh, and sand. So yes, very dry version of a fusion part. And as you can imagine, it's a very dry mob.
They do the same damage as regular zombies, plus they inflict hunger. And if it's on hard difficulty, they also inflict the weakness effect.
Yes, yes.
They also have a slight knock-up effect when they hit something. They don't have a villager variant, but they're immune to sunlight. And they have all the same things as zombies, so you can arm them. Their hero attack is the same as a zombie, so the morality cry. Basically the zombies just immune to sunlight right off the bat, and they inflict hunger and weakness. They inflict hunger and weakness on hunger, and they also inflict weakness on hard. And they, they're Husk.
Yeah. That's Husk in a nutshell. Okay. So next after Husk...
Strays. They have a little bit more to them. Their arrows will have all effects that they would normally have. Plus, they always act as if they had the additional effect of having slowness.
Now, the thing is that to get these, you need an egg, an arrow, and a bone for the fusion part, but also a piece of ice. Just because they're found in darn lips. Just because they're always found in cold climates, and strays like Husk have special additional. I got a baby stray. You know, this is the first miniature version I've had this time. So we're going with normal luck now, not your usual version of luck with baby
They have
mobs.
the same abilities as standard skeletons. Plus, their arrows act like they always have slowness, which can combine with other tipped arrows.
Yeah, and the thing is, you usually give it to them on their offhand. I'm trying to remember, is that under... Yeah, okay. So let me see here. A nice arrow of poison. I'm gonna take extreme duration.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so...
That'll be a whopper for the enemy.
Oh yeah,
Quick.
11 seconds of poison is just terrible.
On
Oh,
top,
because it's a baby, it's on my head. I have to spawn in another stray to make sure that this works. That is okay. Okay, normal stray. Okay, you take this arrow, and anything there you go. It's rendering on him in his offhand. He's fine. And yeah. So he should be good. He has it.
straight with a skeleton skull on it.
Now the hero version has abilities kind of like a regular skeleton. So imagine rapid fire with poison and slowness. Yeah, that's gonna be just terrible. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that one. Just here, have a blast of nothing but absolutely terrible arrows. So if anything shows up, they're gonna get it.
Have slowness and whatever effect the tipped arrow has on it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Skeletons are missing everything that they're trying to shoot at. This is stupid.
He's also doing some testing on Engender currently, so stuff is happening.
Skeletons are having real issues shooting at things right now.
Apparently their aim is just a little off. As for this straight, don't know. He hasn't found anything to shoot at yet. But who knows? Maybe in a little while he'll be shown off along with the others. Now, who's going to be up next after the stray? Because I know there's something very special with a couple of them. Would you say Wither Skeleton might be next? Or Vindicator, maybe? Or even the Killer Bunny?
I'd say the next one is Ghast.
Oh, okay. Ghast. Now they require, as you might imagine, a gas tier and gunpowder, as well as the egg. And they also can be mounted. I know this in advance. So things could get explosive. Now, this also depends on if you can... Okay, I'm sneaking so that he comes to me a bit, sort of. I think I need the horn. Which horn was that I needed to teleport them to me?
There is no horn that teleports things to you.
Oh yeah, it's just the one that raises morality. Dope. I'm thinking of the one for the dragon. It's very specific for the dragon, though, so that's a different story. So, yeah. Wow, he is just jamming in the sky. Wow, he just obliterated some Silex. They are very aggressive, even against passives. Because Silex don't really cause any kind of threat. This guy's just going up, and away. Hey, you're my Ghast. Shouldn't you be following me rather than trying to run away? Come on, Ghast. I'm trying to hero you, and maybe ride. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ride this Ghast. Did he disappear off the top of the world? It's a rendering thing. He's still technically there, but I can't see him. Oh, my Ghast is just gone. He's gone astray. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, the other mob puns are heavy today.
Yes. Aha! I managed to get a ride. Oh my gosh. Please tell me I'm able to descend here. Okay. Ooh-ah.
Oh, this poor spider.
Oh wow, I was really high up. I was
Oh!
literally chasing him past the cloud limit. I mean, gosh. He was way up there, and he's still shooting things, apparently. 2 Capel Silexes were now right next to each other. That's interesting to note. Goodbye, Spriggans. Okay, I'm now back on the ground. He's still, even as a hero, he's just flying away. Now, his special ability is kind of like a machine gun blast, only of exploding fireballs. So you could kind of imagine that rapid fire literally is quite nasty. Especially when, it should be noted, little known fact about gas, the reason why they spread fire in the nether isn't because it's in the nether, it is a direct property of their fireballs, and that is copied here. So if they directly hit and ignite anything, that'll totally happen. Don't even know where that one went. Now, sneaking does kind of help to get him close to you, but only to a degree. Like, the moment you release the button, he might go away. Oh, wow! Huh. I actually saw that death message we were discussing earlier that one time. Remember when you said that the morality boost also counts as a point-blank attack? It actually happened. Something was yelled at to death by a Husk. Let me see if I can catch that in the death messages. Was yelled at to death by a Husk. Yeah, a Cinder was yelled at to death. That happened. So, that's actually kind of funny. At least I know that I can go down. Ugh, thank you, little... Okay. I'm writing... by the way, if you strafe with these guys, they will also auto-fire, so...
Things are being murdered by my wither skeleton army.
And also by my gas. We are simultaneously going on some serious sprees of destruction. Slain by gas and blown up by gas. I guess that hit in the right spot. Oh. Whoa, big combat. I could not see what was even going on. What was there? Is that poison? Did it just...
Poison.
It just got rid of something. What was it? Silex's ears exploded thanks to Ghast.
Ghast have their new and improved special hero attack, which is to scream really, really, really loud.
Yes, if you thought Ghasts were loud before, well, now this just cements that is like an actual attack. Okay, so they don't do the machine gun thing as much. They just scream their enemy to death.
There was a machine gun thing. It was a super powered fireball.
That was before. Now they just yell really, really loud.
It also puts fear directly into the hearts of any monsters that hear their screech. Even bosses. So I tested this. Even Saxos, the Harbinger of Doom, is too afraid to even face a gas that's screaming, and he runs away. And he never stops.
Did you use Lycanite Sphere effect recycled for that?
No, they just simply run away using the standard vanilla avoid entity AI.
Okay, so you have a way of anything yelled at is suddenly,
enough,
so anything yelled at is suddenly scared for a little while. How long does that last whenever they're in spook mode?
Until they're dead.
Okay, now that's just a bit insane. It's like, I'm gonna just scream and you're just gonna run away from me forever.
You will never taste happiness again.
Well, since I'm gonna have a hard time getting back on my Ghast again anyhow, just because he's doing his thing, who's up next? Because we have witches, vindicators...
Oh my god. Oh, this is hilarious.
Skeletons...
Oh, this is hilarious. I spawned in a group of 20 Saxos, and now they're all running for their lives.
That is funny. That's totally not right. Also, we have guardians. So who's up next, basically?
That would be guardians, actually.
Now, to get a guardian,
by the way,
you're definitely gonna have to fight in their area because...
In effect of gas, their attacks do triple damage to anything that isn't moving. If something is stationary, or has 0 movement, for example, a building like a portal, they
Uh-huh.
they will do triple damage to it.
That's like by default, right?
Yeah.
Huh. So they just really wreck anything that's standing still. Okay, now we have an egg, prismarine shard, and a raw fish to make your fusion part for Guardians. So because of that prismarine shard, you're very, very, very likely going to have to fight them
Fight.
first, unless theoretically with the aquatic update they have that as a treasure somewhere. But that's looking ahead. That's just a thought. Now the thing about
They
Guardians,
still have this. They have the standard attack. They have the standard attack, so they have their eye beam, 30 health, and they also have their thorns.
yes, and remember they are an aquatic mob. They like to swim a lot, but you
If
can
they're on
also use
land,
them on land, and they will bounce around. So now I have an incredible bouncing mount. It also likes to fire beams.
their abilities is that they prick attackers, and their melee attack is partially magical.
Yes, the beam is technically always has been an extended melee attack in the first place. Now they also have the ability to use their thorns to counterattack enemies, as usual Guardians.
Their hero special attack is called the super laser. Laser expands to show that it's now super. Target mob also blows up when hit, and they also take enormous damage.
Aha! The Guardian is now a hero. So if anything comes by, I'm wondering, was
They
this
make
kind of the
that
code
by-
you redid to make the golden gargoyle do its thing, kind of like that?
Technically, the golden gargoyle uses guardian beam technology.
Aha, Guardian Beam technology. We can make them more advanced. We can improve them.
But the hero attack of the guardian leaves its enemy looking in Alderaan places.
It also hits them with confusion. Oh, that's a classic though. Where'd it go?
It went. We're looking in Alderaan places.
Wait, did you say Alderaan places? Oh man. Oh man, poor Alderaan. We know what happened there, don't we? Looking for love in Alderaan places. Oh, that's so Star Wars. Sorry about that.
Next one is the wither skeleton.
I kind of figured we'd be getting to Wither Skeleton pretty soon, because as you said, you're going with simpler before going to more complex. Now, they'll take coal, a bone, and an egg. Be very gracious that didn't go to Wither Skeleton Skull, because that was theoretically a possibility since you can get them in survival. Now, the Wither Skeleton is, as with other undead...
Not that horrible. I'm not that terrible.
Well,
Wither skulls are used for the wither, not exactly wither skeletons themselves. I mean, you don't take the heads of any of the other mobs or their rare drops.
Yeah.
Except for a few.
Yeah. Now, the
Wither skeletons are very powerful.
Yeah.
Wither skeletons are very powerful. They have an extremely powerful melee attack, and you can still give them a bow, and when you do, their arrows automatically are set on fire, as in vanilla Minecraft.
Yeah,
if you
very
didn't
few
know,
people realize that, because the thing is, usually the situation for a wither skeleton to pick up a bow will be kind of rare. But if it does happen, all of their arrows will be flaming.
It would require mods or a custom map that spawns wither skeletons with bows. But if they do, they don't need
an
a flame
easier
attack.
circumstance. It's called, if you're actually in an actual nether fortress and you're killing a regular destroying a regular skeleton, it drops its bow, and the wither skeleton right next to it just picks it up. You see, that could happen. So it is possible to see it. It's
if it was
really rare.
If it somehow spawned with nothing in his hands, and then decided to pick up the bow, and had the ability to pick up bows, and mob griefing was set to true.
I'm not sure if they have to have nothing in their hand for that to work or what, but I do know that can't pick up.
If they're already carrying a weapon, they won't pick anything up, unless it's stronger than what they already have. And bows are not classified in that, despite the fact that they deal more damage.
Of course, these wither skeletons are better. They can dual wield, so they might go, hey, I can have a bow and a sword. So yeah.
That's another thing I forgot to mention about skeletons in general. You can put a bow in one hand and a sword in the other one, and if they get close enough to an enemy, they will switch to the sword in melee. and if they're far enough away, they'll switch back to the bow and continue shooting. This was inspired from the Skeleton Warrior from Primitive Mobs mod, which has the ability to do that.
He's not picking up the bow.
You have to give it to him.
I'm trying, but I'm shooting him with it instead.
You gotta take the stuff out of his hands.
Okay. Yoink. Okay. You take this, and I'll give you back your other. There you go. Now he has both. I just had to click him a bit there with an empty hand, because you can't do that normally. Oh, this guy is pretty tricked out already. He's got it going. The Wither Skeleton just needed a little extra accessory, so now he can alternate. Yeah. And let me guess, hero mode depends on which version he's using at the time, melee or ranged.
Yes, as it does with all skeleton variants. Ranged is the arrow storm, and melee is tender stab.
Okay, so it's either a poke to someplace quite vulnerable, or repetitive shots in the face. Of course, in this case, flaming. So yeah. Okay, now next up, let's see. We did Wither Skeleton.
By the way, skeletons of all types are compatible with another ranged weapon that we will be taking a look at in a later video.
Oh yeah, that. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Oh yes. Yeah.
Have an army of gunslinging maniac skeletons.
Yeah, trust me, it's a very special kind of gun. Okay, so next up, would it be the Killer Bunny, the Witch, the Vindicator, or the Shulker? Because those are the ones we really have left.
Let's do the Vindicator next.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. I gotta know if this part works. Okay, I need to do it just right, so I need an anvil for a second here. So I'm wondering... oh, wait, we already went over that. It doesn't do the custom name thing. Darn it, I'm going to have to use a name tag.
Custom name thing?
The custom name thing. You know,
what
the one custom name thing?
What one custom? Tell me which one it is.
The one of which you call a Vindicator?
Oh, Johnny?
Yeah,
well, it does work. It does work.
Yeah, that one. Johnny.
On the Vindicators. Right, it works in the
Johnny with two N's, right?
Johnny with two N's, yes.
That's what I thought.
Make sure that you have the sound on.
I'm very sure I have the sound on. This is going to be very appropriate whenever I do this. But, oh, by the way, to get a Vindicator, this is going to be somewhat expensive because emeralds. Yeah, 2 emeralds, an iron axe, and an egg. So that's going to be somewhat expensive. I'm not just talking EMC. I'm just talking about the fact that in vanilla it's a little tricky to find emeralds unless you're like me and are decently good at the trading system. So you may want to find yourself a village to get these guys.
And Gendermod villagers should be able to help you with this.
Yeah, because they like selling stuff very nicely.
Ironically enough, they should be able to help you find a way of summoning their arch nemesis.
Now this is going to be an absolute nightmare. A hero mode Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
Oh man, now this guy, he looks intimidating. By the way, with the Illagers, can you equip them with stuff other than weaponry?
No, but with the Vindicator, the only things that you can give him is a different type of axe, or any axe. You can give him axes. That's it.
Hey, I'm wondering about a little compatibility tweak here. Let me see here.
You won't take anything but axes.
But it can be any axe, right?
Any axe. You can even give him an Athaxium one.
Yeah, I was trying to choose between Radium and Athaxium before you even said that. So yeah, I'm gonna give him an Athaxium axe.
Because they're technically considered axes, they'll work.
I've already tested it.
You know,
that color matches him a bit better anyhow, so yeah.
The way that you'll know that the axe was successfully given to him is if you'll hear him grunt.
Oh, he grunted. He's holding it above his head, ready to whack something. So he's good. So what kind of hero powers would a hero mode Johnny have?
Nothing. They're just really, really strong.
This is just lots and lots of pain. Well, of course, there's plot armor and all that.
They don't need his hero special attack. They do so much damage.
They're already the legendary slasher, you know. So
Jesus Christ. A Thaxium Axe in hand. He's not even hero-fied. 18 damage.
yeah, he's doing this simultaneously, and the stats on this axe is plus 14 attack damage, and you add that to a little bit of base damage from him, and
Just the point.
oh, the pain.
Just the point is that even without the Thaxium Axe, it's 12 damage with the iron one.
Yeah, and this is with a very heavy axe. This is an axe from
And
Abyssal
oh my
and
god,
it deals a lot of damage.
an instant kill to lesser mobs when he's hero-fied.
Ouch. Well, this guy is just gonna plow through more
Wait,
stuff.
let's see how much damage
he
he
does
does to an.
but,
Let's see how much damage he actually does to an to something with actual high health. Here, have an Elder Guardian to punch.
something tells me that's not gonna last. And might add,
30,
that's coming
39 damage.
Ouch.
39. That is a heavy-hitting mob.
Oh, by the
That's
way,
why they
I
don't.
might want to ask you about a little
That.
something later. It's kind of
That, by the way, is why they do not need a hero special ability. They do not need one. They're already too strong.
Okay. So speaking of strength, next
You know
up,
what's?
Witch?
You know what?
Bunny?
You know what? Forget the
Shulker?
axe. He doesn't even need the axe. He can just pummel him with his bare hand.
One Punch Man was Johnny. I thought that was supposed to be Saitama. Oh.
Even without
Now
the
he's
axe.
also been cheered by the Husk, so now he's even more
gee.
empowered.
Oh, this is insane. Even without he doesn't even need the axe. He does 15 damage to mobs without the axe and hero-fied. You just pummel them to death.
Yeah, and now I have empowered him even more, so this is gonna be absolutely insane. The first thing he sees will just die. He's like, hey, I'm gonna ask you a question. And then that's just it.
Jesus Christ.
Spider was slain by Johnny! It would be even funnier if the name was
Oh,
technically Heroes Johnny, but whatever.
Saxoth, I feel so sorry for you right now.
Something tells me that Saxoth is going to be just wasted. Again, a lot of this stuff we'll go over with more Abyssalcraft things at some point.
We'll go over Abyssalcraft you'll go over Abyssalcraft when the time comes.
Yeah, and then I'll also go over the Abyssalcraft cross-mod content from this mod, too.
Jesus
It
Christ.
does have compatibility.
The hero-fied Vindicator with an Thaxium Axe just killed Saxoth.
Ouch. How many hits did that even take?
I think it was like 30. He only took 2 hits and he took no damage from either one of them. And now he's just chopping up the shadow creatures.
Well, there's still the damage limit that he has, so therefore I could see that it just like maxed
Christ,
out each
even
hit.
the shadow beast doesn't last long. It gets 2 shot.
Oh, I know they have a good amount of health, so that's like
They have
ouch.
100. They have 100 health.
Yeah,
They got
each.
2 shot.
Okay. So next up, Witch, Shulker,
Just
or Bunny.
imagine having an army of those.
Yeah, that's just one. So if you get yourself a lot of emeralds, like again trading with the Engender mod villagers, then you could have a lot of these guys, and that's going to be really really painful.
Next up is the killer rabbit of Kerbanog.
Yes, that was the original reference in.
If you thought Johnny was badass, you ain't seen this little Lagomorph.
Yeah, legendary Lagomorph confirmed. You'll need a few very special components for this one, though, so it is going to be a little trickier to put together. You're going to need, the egg, but you're also going to be needing that rabbit hide. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. A rabbit's foot, and might add, those are rare drops normally. You will be needing rabbit stew, which itself consists of cooked rabbit, a baked potato, a mushroom, a carrot, and a bowl. So this is a little more complicated than you first would think, but in terms of getting the fusion part. But the killer bunny is an absolute killing machine. I mean, you may or may not have seen some people get clobbered by these things before, but I'm about to show you why these things are technically unused in Minecraft at this time. It's
just have a few of these things and you'll take down a boss easily.
This is also another thing that doesn't really need a hero attack per se. It just makes it that much more nasty.
There are some mobs. There are some low tier mobs that just simply do not need a hero mode attack with special attack. So So these little chaps have only 10 health. They do 8 damage. They have 20 armor points, invisible, of course. They are ridiculously fast. They like move. They like zip across the screen and like Monty Python, in a Holy Grail style.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was gonna say, wow, a cow was just sighted, and before anything else could react, it was killed by the bunny.
They're
Literally,
very,
like instant kill. Just
they're very
cow was
powerful
slain by
and
killer rabbit.
dangerous. The thing that makes them the most dangerous, though, removes invincibility frames on each hit. This means that this little sucker will hit on every occasion it gets, which
Yes.
means that
So
which
it will
means that
drop
you
the
can
health of
max.
anything in seconds. Just ouch.
They only have 10 health, so if anything does magic damage, they can easily destroy them. But if something just has pure damage but no magic, it's going to get torn apart by an army of these little things. Like an iron golem, which is a tier 5, will get mauled by them.
So again, note that anything that bypasses armor will be able to get past their tiny bit of health, but they're still going to deal a lot of damage before that, so they're going to take a good chunk of the enemy down with them. So it may not seem like it at first, but this cute little bunny is one of the most powerful soldiers you will ever see. It's just ridiculous. It's killed
Better
by
start
the
collecting
bunny.
those rabbit's feet. Better
Yeah.
start collecting those rabbit's feet. They now have more uses than just simply being a brewing recipe.
Yeah, good luck with that. Because again, that's a rare drop, so without the power of EMC to help you out, you are going to be searching for a lot of bunnies, or farming them. You can, in fact, farm rabbits in Minecraft. That's part of how you normally get rabbit speed, but it'll take a while. And a lot of carrots.
Yes, these things are ridiculously powerful for what they are, but their low health keeps them at tier 4.
Yeah, that's the only thing holding them back. Otherwise, they would be the next tier up. So that's your good explanation
I
there.
mean, they're bunnies. They're bunnies.
They're cute little bunnies. You had to make them a tier lower just so you could actually uh, work them in.
And by the way, this is actually the highest tiered animal in the Engender mod. The highest tiered
Yes,
animal.
because the others are all basically tier 1 except for the squid, which is tier 2 just because it can swim well.
And the
Or,
and the
well,
and,
not
and the
really.
polar bear.
That seems to be a
Don't forget
technical
about the
work
poor polar
progress.
bear. The polar bear is a tier 3
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
because they have very pretty good melee.
Yeah, they do. So, in terms of animals, this is the last one you'll be seeing going up, and the last one you'll need to. So, yeah.
So next one is the witch.
Yeah, so my sparkling bunny will have to wait for something to get rid of. Speaking of which, apparently there was one shown up, and well, a couple of them. One was slain by a ghast, and one was blown up by it. So they must have worked in tandem. Those were just random witches. They weren't the ones I'm going to show here. Well, actually they were. They just weren't on my side. Now you're going to need a glass bottle, gunpowder, glowstone dust, and an egg to get yourself a witch fusion part. So this is where things get special, because I'm certainly going to say hero mode on this will be very good. And they're very useful to have in your team in so many ways. I know you're normally against witches, but you sort of went all out with making this a good version of a witch.
Well, yeah, it had to be since witches are generally the supporters.
Yes, they are. And that's another thing, is if you have this... Yeah, it just happened. If you have them around, they will provide buffs for your army as well as you. And in hero mode, you get additional buffs that they're capable of giving, and all sorts of coolness.
Their hero attack is probably the funniest in the game. Related to sorcery. So if you just spawn a bunch of enemies around the witch and then heroify it.
Oh, she's already heroified. I just need to spawn a bunch of enemies around the witch. Let me think. What would I want to spawn in? I do have various mods here.
How about spawn something that is as far from a four-legged animal as possible?
Okay. I'm thinking maybe a minion of the gatekeeper. That's about as far away as it gets. Well, kind of. Minion of the gatekeeper. Hi, Abyssalcraft. You're about to meet up with a very angry witch.
And what happened to him?
I think he disappeared. It didn't say he was slain. He just left. Where did he go? I don't know where. Do they have teleports? I don't remember that. Whenever I was
No.
doing Abyssalcraft.
Do you even see the pig that's nearby?
Well, there's a zombie pigman. There was a
Pig.
pig that was nearby. It got killed.
Oh.
Uh,
Well.
some other things did.
Well, her special attack is swine mania. She turns regular monsters that are nearby into pigs.
Okay. She's pulling a Cersei. Yeah, me and him are both mythology buffs, so we get the reference. Okay, so he was turned into a pig,
hero,
and then...
Also, as a hero, witches throw 3 potions at once, meaning that they are even more splash damagey with their attack.
Now that one died twice. Like, he was slain by a wither skeleton and shot by it at the same time. I'm gonna have to use more of these guys to get that effect to be more apparent. Okay.
Jesus. Jeez. That is a powerful hero move. I just watched as 24 minions of the Gatekeeper were turned into delicious bacon.
Well, the bacon's flying now. Oh, my poor confused zombie pigman. What is going up with you? You're just like going nuts.
And witches also have a very special attack when they fight other witches, because witches normally can't properly kill each other.
Okay, I've got to see this.
Make it fight a witch.
Okay, I'm gonna make it fight a vanilla witch. Let me see here. There we go. This has got to be good. Okay. Witch was slain by witch. Okay, that worked.
I think you made it melee.
Pummel. Okay, a little too close. Uh-oh. Okay, it somehow got through. It somehow got through. That's all I know. There's this big lag spike, and then, like, things happened. I don't know if it was because of my witch or what, but things happened.
This very special attack that witches use on other witches is that they hit them with a water bottle that causes them to spontaneously float upwards.
Oh, that's why they died midair. Yep, that explains things.
The witch flies up and then falls back down and dies, and usually dies from fall damage.
Meanwhile, I'm getting buffed by my witch. Ah, thank you. You see, normally testificus are my homies, but witches are normally a bit more offensive. But this is a friendly witch. This witch is always just nice. Okay, so I can put some of those things up. And I do believe that means the last one is something very, very special. Oh wait, there's another. We also haven't done Enderman yet.
Yeah, the last two tier 4s are ender creatures, but I will actually save the Shulker for last because it has some very cool things to it.
Oh yeah,
the Enderman is next, as the Enderman has a lot of things to it.
Yes, an ender pearl and an egg for the fusion part. And there seems to be a lot of tears going out right about now. But yeah, the Enderman is they can be a total maniac. Like, I'm just saying it right now. They can. As
you've been seeing throughout the entirety of our reviews, Endermen are absolute badasses at killing things.
Yeah, I've had a few Endermen show up and just wreck.
They're one of the few tier 4s that I've seen that stand up to killer bunnies and tie them.
I see. So they can keep each other at bay pretty well. Right now, I have an Enderman here with me.
Not keep at bay. They'll murder each other.
Oh, they will tie, like, as in kill simultaneously.
They will murder each other wholesale because both of them move really fast and have very high attack power. And the Enderman's attack kind of bypasses the armor of the killer bunny because they have such high attack power.
Funny note, I was doing some testing recently, and I found out that the killer Pac-Man ties with the vortex from ore spawn almost every time. Literally 3 out of 3, they wind up killing each other at the last second. It's kind of funny. So I have seen mobs actually kill each other off perfectly before, and sometimes it's funnier than others. Wow, I literally have just about every buff in the book. Thank you, Witch. Now, is there anything extra special about my Enderman other than just teleporting around, acting like a maniac, whacking everything?
You can also ride them.
Oh
They can be
yeah.
they can be quote unquote
Oh
mounted.
wait,
But it's mounting.
I need to show this in other
It's mounting.
perspectives.
It's mounting, but it's more like them carrying you.
Yeah, like out in front, just like they carry a block. So I am being carried. I know how the blocks feel now. You know, it makes me wonder if they could easily do something in vanilla where they have like an Enderman pick up a Shulker, and it'd be like they just mistook them for the block because they're kind of camouflaged anyhow. It's kind of funny, but I'm actually just running backwards just to show myself off. Oh, he's angry at something. What are you angry at? It wasn't me, because I'm the one who's got you here. Do I need to dismount and let you go? Nope, he's not going.
Just let him
He's just
run
angry
off.
at something.
Just let him run off and murder the thing that got him pissed.
Or something.
It's probably something. Just have him kill it.
You just go ahead and do things. Thank you. Thank you. Doing lots of things. Lots of death messages caused by Enderman. I'm just standing here while he's going out and doing stuff. And a zombie was blown away by a ghast, screaming in its ears. Okay, that happened. But yeah, any other things about Enderman? Of course, that they do teleport around and grab Oh yeah, special grab blocking. Yeah,
They grab blocks, but they grab more types of blocks,
yes.
including ores. They
Yes,
will grab them.
They can grab all sorts of things for you, and you can take them from them. So they have a very special ability to grab blocks. It's different than regular Endermen. They can do things. So let's say, for example, oh wait, better example.
Just put a diamond ore next to it.
I was gonna use redstone, but we can go diamond.
They'll
Okay.
also disarm redstone traps by picking up the actual redstone stuff.
Which
So
is funny.
they'll pick up trap chests, pistons and other things. They'll basically break redstone stuff.
He has the diamond block,
And
diamond ore block.
and dispensers too.
They can basically pry apart a temple trap.
They'll also pick up pressure plates, I believe.
And now he's just running off with that diamond ore block. Still whacking things over the head with it.
Standard Enderman the standard Enderman also has a skin Easter egg. If you rename the Enderman to Bart, they get a different skin.
Bart
the Enderman.
Okay, is that a reference to something specific? Because I'm not sure about that one. I haven't heard that one before.
Slime Crow.
Slime Crow? What?
Slam Crow.
Okay.
Just rename him to Bart. Just rename your Enderman to Bart. He'll gain a nifty tuxedo.
Is that spelled like Bart? Isn't like Bart Simpson?
Bart.
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 Slarty Bart Forest. Oh wait, that's wrong reference. That's Hitchhikers. Did I name it or miss? I think I whiffed. There we go. It's Bart. Ah, he has a fancy tuxedo skin there now. Yeah, there we go. Is that supposed to be? You know, I think I've seen an Enderman look like that before, and I think it was on a music video.
That music video was probably Slam Girls.
Oh, Slamacow. Okay.
Slamacow.
It is in fact pronounced Slamacow. I
Zombies.
think it was because of all the cow punching that was done in early Minecraft, and that's how he got his name. It's Slamacow. Okay.
Likewise, you can rename a zombie to Dave, and he'll gain the Dave the zombie skin.
Regular zombie?
Regular zombie.
Okay, so these are a few Easter eggs we hadn't went over before. Okay, so I need to get back another one because I didn't actually do that earlier, so I didn't think I'd be revisiting zombie. I want to make sure that I have this one ready in advance because
the other Easter egg name for zombies is if you name them Mark, they gain a new different skin where they wear headphones and a hoodie.
So we have Mark and Dave. Why is there like no Bob? Of course, Bob's supposed to be like a regular zombie, so I can kind of see that one. Okay.
Bob doesn't have a unique skin.
Yeah, he's just Bob. Okay, so we have, that's M-A-R-K for Mark, right? Or is it M-A-R-C?
Mark.
Okay, Mark. And we also have Dave. So I'm prepping these in advance because zombies. Okay, so we have Dave. Oh, I'll also need to make sure that they have some hats. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. Because they're gonna try to burn, like, immediately. Okay, so we have... we have this one, and you'll be Mark. Oh, he has a spiffy headset. Okay, that's nice to know. And then we'll have... oh, I'm not gonna use the baby zombie version. That might not be as visible.
You won't be able
Oh,
to
that's
name
a
it.
villager zombie.
You can't name a villager zombie, Dave, and get the proper result.
Okay, there we go. Oh, and he came with his own hat already. That's nice. So we have Dave, and we have Mark, and we also have Bart, the Engender Enderman. Would that make it add that an Engenderman? Or
Probably.
kind of, okay. Anyhow,
Now we'll discuss the Mob Girls version of the Engender mod in another video. But there are more things to the Enderman that require that to be on.
yeah, that's very special content. It's not technically cross content. It's a special option, and you know, I think that was your earliest config option, wasn't it?
Yes, Mob Girl, enable Mob Girls,
Yes,
enable cute Mob Models.
yes,
And
cute mob models.
last but not least, we have the Shulker, the one that they actually have the most stuff to them.
Yeah, for one thing, you'll need an egg, popped chorus fruit, and 2 shulker shells, because, hey, you're basically putting it back in the box. and, and this is one thing where I may actually have to clear a good portion of the items in my inventory because of all the different stuff that has to do with this. I kind of knew this moment was coming, but at the same time, I still managed to leave my inventory going into an exploding state.
Shulkers have the standard statistics of vanilla Shulkers. They have 30 health. They do 4 damage with Shulker bullets, and they inflict potion effects. They have 0 armor when their shell's open, but 20 when it's closed, and they cannot move except via teleportation.
Yes.
Now,
so no
they
sliding
they also have color variants too, which you can dye with dyes. All 16 colors are available, and each one has their own individual different potion effect to them. So
okay.
the standard.
So this is standard. This is purple.
We want.
Its effect
purple
is levitation.
Is default.
Yes, levitation is default. This is the standard purple version of a shulker. But let's go over some of the colors.
Let me use the power that is my workspace to tell you what each shulker can do.
I think that's under materials.
So the white shulker. So some shulkers are considered benevolent shulkers. That is to say, instead of attacking things, they shoot at their nearby allies to give them the effects that they give.
These are otherwise known as positive shulkers. Those that have the debuffs rather than buffs are still the negative shulkers. So because it's classified as a debuff, technically the purple is a standard negative shulker, but there are other things that they can do. Some which are very beneficial to you as well, because if they don't have an ally that needs it, they will shoot you a buff. So yeah, you might want to consider that as an option.
So let us go through the colors. So first up is white. White shulkers are positive, and when they hit an ally, they will inflict invisibility on them.
Oh, it's not noticeable because this armor is complete. Therefore, I have to take the hat off. Okay, shoot me, please. Shoot me. Shoot me. I mean, I was doing the armor for the review for looks, but please shoot me. Do I have to give him an extra directive from me, or am I just waiting here? But yeah, otherwise there may be some invisible allies.
Yeah.
Special feature for Engender that we just got illustrated randomly. If one of your allies is invisible, you will be able to see them as if you were in spectator seeing another spectator. Only they're not a floating head. It's the whole body. So you can see right through them here. So, yeah.
But the enemy will not see anything, as usual.
Yes. So I can see right through my allied zombie here. Uh, so yeah, totally invisible. And meanwhile, I'm
Now,
having various buffs thrown at me again.
now the orange shulker is a -1. This one just straight up sets the enemy on fire for 15
I saw
seconds.
that shot. Where did my shulker go? I saw that shot coming from over here. I'll have to stand here. There we go. That should have drawn him over. Or did he turn himself invisible? I see an endermite. I think it's one of mine because of an enderman teleporting around.
That happens with Enderman when they.
I think my shulker is invisible. I think he turned himself invisible. I can't see where he is.
The shulker will hit itself sometimes with its own if it's a positive one.
Yeah.
This next
invisible.
color. Next
So I'm
color
gonna have
is
to make
orange.
myself some other shulkers. Okay.
Next color is orange.
Okay, let me
Get
grab
an
myself.
orange dye. Just grab every single dye.
Yeah, I kind of need to, but the thing is I only had so much space on my hotbar, so I was kind of doing it as needed, but then stuff happened. Okay, so let's do another shulker and make it orange. So
This
you are
one,
now
this one
an
doesn't
orange
inflict.
shulker.
This one doesn't inflict buff and any potion effects. It instead just straight up lights enemies on fire for 15 seconds.
Oh, by the way, anytime you hero a shulker, their ability is a multi-shot. They fire a whole bunch of homing shots.
I call it
And,
seek. I call it seek and destroy. They send a shulker bullet out to every enemy within 24 blocks.
Oh, by the way, they will buff each other if if they realize it. Anytime a shulker is shot by another shulker that's a positive shulker, they will not regard it as an attack. They will know that it's a buff, so they won't shoot each other accidentally or anything. And besides, all members of your team can't harm each other, so that would be very pointless. Another factor that I hadn't mentioned is whenever you give them any die, they will give off the other die that corresponds to their color. If it was a default shulker, this means you get free purple dye. Just saying. But this is an orange one. So let's go out and see if I can find any creatures to attack with my army.
Now the next color is magenta, not purple, magenta.
Yeah, it's a very slightly different color.
This one is another negative shulker, and this one inflicts nausea on the enemy. And then in the Engender mod, this actually matters since mobs will move their heads around wildly when nauseated.
I have a baby shulker. I can only put him on my head. You see, this is a little conflict. I'm wondering if you can work out is like maybe shift clicking so that you can actually use the hero star, the star of valor on them, or maybe do other things with them to interact rather than put them on your head. So I have a baby shulker. It's magenta colored now.
And the magenta one is another negative one. It inflicts nausea. It also inflicts instant damage on the enemy, or if it's undead, it inflicts instant health.
Do I have him on my head?
I think so.
No. I think he was shot while he was on my head and then went invisible, so I think he's around here somewhere.
Next color is light blue. This one is a positive shulker. This one inflicts luck and strength 2 on the targeted ally.
Which also means it'd be great to take fishing. Because luck.
Then the one after that is the yellow shulker. This one inflicts fire resistance and haste 2 on hit allies.
Whipping up. Okay, speaking of haste, I think I've been sped up a bit, so I'm extra speedy, and I believe that's more the speed effect. But anyhow, time for a yellow shulker, who happens to be a baby. So he will speed you up really fast.
Speed up your mining, actually.
Yes. So you get both.
The one after that is the one next is the lime shulker. This one is another positive shulker and it inflicts jump boost onto its hit target. Jump boost 2.
I'm getting a lot of baby shulkers. Just saying.
Next, the one after the lime one is the pink.
Exchange.
Next, Next one after the lime one is the pink shulker. This one inflicts resistance and regeneration 1 and 2.
Ah, okay. So a bit of regeneration, a bit of. Okay,
That's,
okay, nice to know.
that
I'm
was a
grabbing a
lot.
few others.
There was a lot of positive shulkers, but now onto some
Just a
negative
moment, I might
ones.
need you to repeat that, I think, because I'm grabbing some more dyes here, because I only had so much hot bar left. Okay, so we
And
have
then
pink, and pink is the one that gives you regeneration and what?
regeneration and resistance.
Aha, so gives you a good shield.
Then then the next one after that is a negative shulker, the gray shulker. This one inflicts blindness onto the hit enemy onto the target.
Mm-hmm, it looks very dark.
In the Engender mod, this is actually useful as mobs that are inflicted by blindness cannot attack something unless it is within 4 blocks of them. They just don't
Ah,
know where it is.
invisible guardian. That's funny. Anyhow. So
Then
basically, it
then
does in fact limit their field of vision, and they can't see unless it's right in front of their nose.
yes, which is why mobs tend to stall when fighting Saxoth because he blinds them when
Yeah,
he
they're
hits
like,
them.
ugh. Oh, oh no, Dave, find some water, Dave. Dave, over here, find some water,
And
Dave.
I need more time. I'm recording.
Oh, poor Dave.
I need to,
I need hats. Uh, hats. Need more hats again. Dave needs a hat. You know, I'm gonna just for some bling for Dave. I'm gonna
I'm
give him a
almost
gold one if I
done.
can find him.
I'm almost done. I need a few more minutes. Please.
Here, have a gold hat. Now Dave is swank.
Thanks. We need, we need to finish this up quick.
Okay, I'm also grabbing a few other things. Okay.
You're going
Okay,
too
so
slow.
next up,
Light
after
gray.
gray,
Light gray.
Okay.
This one inflicts slowness 2 onto the targeted entity.
So they'll barely be moving at all after that.
Let's then there's of course the purple one. That one inflicts levitation. We don't need to cycle that one
That's
too much.
default. That's default.
That's the default one. Then there's Cyan. This one's a positive shulker. This one inflicts night vision and speed onto the hit ally.
Okay, so you speed up in terms of your movement speed, and you gain the ability of night vision. Very handy at night.
Blue. Then there's the blue one. This is another benevolent shulker. This one inflicts water breathing onto the hit enemy.
Just a moment. Need to swap a few things out. Light gray. So I need a bit of lapis lazuli. And he inflicts what?
Water breathing onto the hit
Nice.
ally.
So, therefore, they'll be swimming quite well. Now, unless it happens to be a naturally swimming mob, they still don't go, like, underwater, right? It's just something where they won't dive unless they already have that ability.
I may want to remedy that in the Engender mod, where Engender mobs actually swim when they can.
No, it's when they have water breathing, they will automatically know, hey, I can dive now. This is sweet. I mean, players do it all the time. Why shouldn't they?
The next one is the brown shulker. This one is a negative shulker, and it inflicts mining fatigue 2 and weakness on the hit target.
Ooh, nasty. I mean, mining fatigue alone would make it where anything that has an actual attack speed will be really slowed down, but when it comes to weakness, that means they're doing diddly for a while.
Then the one after that is the green shulker. This one looks sickly. This one is a negative shulker and will inflict poison 2 on the attacked target.
Ooh. Like a cave spider, except ranged and worse.
Then there is the red shulker. This one is a beneficiary shulker. It inflicts saturation 2 and instant health 2 on the hit ally, or instant damage if the ally is undead.
Yeah, it's another thing to mention. Between positive and negative shulkers, they will, as with some other Engender mobs, if they normally would inflict damage to living creatures but heal undead, they will reverse that whenever they're attacking an undead, just so that they get their damage right. So they will always manage to deal damage against their target appropriately.
And then the final color is black. This one deals Wither 2 to attack enemies.
Oh, so the black box is one you never want to see against you. Your enemies will definitely be really, really hurting with this box. It's just the box of doom.
Wither 2 is fast enough to negate natural Engender mob regeneration, so it's actually very dangerous.
Oh gosh, that is painful. I know a kobold was slain by one of my shulkers. I just don't know which one. And
Kobold.
oh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I'm still wondering how this exactly happened. One of my shulkers is sideways. He's like he's taking a sideways box snap or something, you know? I'm not even kidding. Did he attach to a block wrong, or was there a block here that got destroyed? And
I think he's literally just laying on his side.
On his side, yeah. He's laying on his side. Oh, by the way, shulkers never look like they're sneaking. Just saying. Everything else does.
Now, there's another thing with shulkers. This is a bit too long for us to do right now, but just take my word for it. You can do this. If you give a shulker a firework, when the enemy is close to death, the enemy will be inflicted with a finishing move.
It's
that is very worthy of the 4th of July.
You know, I might do that for some kind of special. I might do that. I might literally just take some shulkers from Engender, give them fireworks, and turn them into natural firework dispensers of their own in a very special way. I'll kind of describe quickly what happens. If they would register that the damage is enough to finish off the target, then the target will suddenly be finding themselves riding a firework into the sky to die. That is just beautiful.
Yes.
There's not too many targets left for me to attack anyhow, so I don't think I can show that.
It also does inflict. It also does spawn a firework every time a bullet just hits something. This is especially effective if it's a purple shulker, so like levitation.
And one more note, it actually manages to use the exact data from the firework. So what will happen is no matter how you have that firework configured, it will be that firework every time the shulker spawns it in, especially whenever it finishes them off. So if you want to see a giant firework go off every time, just go for it, because it will work.
Make a giant firework, use the most expensive materials, and then just go nuts and give it to your shulker.
Exactly. Or you want to say maybe that rare creeper head version, which normally requires a head. Yeah, that would make it a lot less expensive overall when you have a firework factory working for you.
The thing to note is it'll always be the exact same firework every time, and you can take the firework from the shulker again by giving it a new firework, or by shift right-clicking it, or if the shulker dies, it'll just simply drop the firework as equipment.
Yes, that's the thing, that it will always be the exact same firework with all the right data, but on the other hand, you can only use one at a time, but you can make more than one shulker, so yeah, if you want variety.
And this works because technically the shulker is holding the firework and it's right in its main hand.
Do you see a hand on a shulker? No. But at the same time, it somehow still manages to do it because it seriously has that slot, despite the fact that having an actual hand.
That data is surprisingly useful.
Yeah. That's a weird technical detail that only comes up in situations like this. So,
the shulker is technically holding the firework in its main hand.
Lucky.
But that is about every Tier 4 mob today.
Well, that's part of base Engender, but we'll get to that later.
Next up will be the Tier 5s. We will have to do that in 2 separate videos. One for the standard Tier 5s, and then one for the bosses.
Yeah. Also, some of these you may or may not have seen before in other ways. Tier 5 is where evokers are at, and some of you may remember I did a mob battle with one, and it just totally wrecked things. I mean,
but
seriously.
that is for next time.
Yes, for now we are out of time and out of mobs to show. Actually, that's more the thing. But yeah, we're basically at the end of this one, so we will catch you all later. We'll be signing off for now. So,
that has been Tier 4 of the Engender mobs.
Yes. So bye for now, everybody.
See you, everyone.
Okay.